This is the Allewie queen-size lift-up storage bed. I just wanted to share my experience with this in case anyone else is considering it. I bought this because I needed two things at the same time. I wanted a bed frame that looked simple and clean, and I wanted real storage that did not eat up floor space in a small bedroom. I also wanted to stop dealing with a box spring. I have been sleeping on it for about 6 months, and I open the storage pretty much every week. Sometimes more than that when I am rotating seasonal clothes or swapping bedding. If you are someone who has a closet that is already full, or you have bulky stuff like spare blankets, suitcases, or off-season clothes, this style of bed makes sense. It is not for someone who wants something light that you can slide around easily, because once it is built, it is heavy. It feels like furniture that wants to stay put. What makes it different compared to a lot of other frames is the lift-up storage design. Instead of drawers that only give you a few small pockets of space, the whole mattress platform lifts and the entire area underneath is open. That is the part I actually use in real life. Drawers sound nice, but in a tight room, drawers need clearance and they get blocked by nightstands or laundry baskets. With this, I just lift from the foot of the bed and I can reach everything. Visually, it is calm. Mine is the light beige version. In my room it reads as a soft neutral, not yellow, not gray. The fabric has a noticeable weave, which I like because it does not show every little mark. It has held up well to normal living. I have leaned back against the headboard a lot, I have stacked pillows on it, and I have bumped the side rails with my legs while making the bed. I'm not seeing loose threads or sagging. The headboard has that winged shape, so it kind of frames the pillows without taking over the room. The horizontal channel lines keep it looking modern, but it is still simple enough that it works with basic bedding. The build feels sturdy once it is together. It is a metal frame with a center support, and it uses wooden slats, so the mattress sits on a solid platform. In daily sleep, it feels stable. I move around a lot at night, and I notice when a frame is flexing or shifting. This one does not. The headboard does not wobble when I lean on it to read. Assembly is the part that will either be fine or annoying, depending on your tolerance for flat pack furniture. It came in one large heavy box. I strongly recommend having 2 people just to move it and to line up the bigger pieces without scraping anything. I laid everything out, separated the hardware, and followed the printed instructions while also checking the brand video for the tricky parts. That combination helped because the lift mechanism has a right way and a wrong way, and you do not want to guess. It took me just under 3 hours, including a short break. A tip that saved me some frustration was leaving bolts slightly loose until the sections were aligned, then tightening everything down at the end. I used a drill on low torque to speed things up, and then I hand-tightened the last turn so I would not strip anything. The gas pistons were the only part where I slowed down and double-checked orientation. Once they snapped into place, the mechanism felt solid. In day-to-day use, the storage space is the star of the whole design. I can fit 2 carry-on suitcases, a stack of folded blankets, seasonal clothing bins, and extra pillows, and it still does not feel packed. The usable height is similar to standard under-bed storage boxes, so low-profile bins slide in easily. Larger duffel bags lie flat. Because it is basically a big closed cavity most of the time, I avoid putting anything damp under there. I also tossed in a small moisture absorber just to be safe. So far, I have not had any musty smell issues. The lift action feels like opening the trunk of a car. There is a fabric loop at the foot of the bed. I pull up and the platform rises smoothly and then stays open on its own. That matters because it means I can use both hands to move things around, instead of holding the mattress up with one arm. When I close it, I guide it down with 2 hands. It is controlled, not slamming shut, but it is also not weightless. It feels like a mechanism doing real work. Mattress weight matters here. I have a 12-inch hybrid mattress, and with that on top, the lift feels balanced. If your mattress is very light, the pistons may feel a bit strong at the start, and it might want to rise quickly until you get used to it. If your mattress is extremely heavy, you will feel that extra effort when lifting. With my setup, it is not a struggle. The motion was slightly stiff during the first week, and then it settled into a consistent feel. Stability and noise were my biggest concerns long term. I am sensitive to squeaks. For the first few months it was silent. Around the fourth month, I noticed a faint creak from one corner when I shifted my weight. I did not panic. I retightened a few bolts in that area and the sound went away. Since then, I do a quick check when I change sheets, just to keep everything snug. That is normal maintenance for any frame with hardware. The upholstered side rails are a practical touch. I used to have a basic metal frame and I was always bumping my shin on it. With this, the edges feel softer and it also looks more finished. Cleaning has been simple. Every couple of weeks I vacuum it with a brush attachment. I had a small coffee splash once. I blotted it right away with a dry cloth and it did not leave a mark. I have avoided wet cleaners because I do not want to risk making a water ring or changing the texture. There are a few real drawbacks that are worth saying out loud. The frame is heavy once built. That is part of why it feels stable, but it also means I do not want to drag it around for cleaning. I put furniture sliders under the legs so I can shift it a little when I need to. If you move often, I would plan to disassemble it rather than trying to carry it as one piece. Another thing is the overall sleep height. Because it is a platform, your mattress thickness decides how tall the bed feels. If you like a higher bed, you will want a thicker mattress. Also, if you try to close the lift mechanism without a mattress on top, it feels awkward and overly strong. That is not a defect. It is just how gas pistons work when they are meant to counterbalance the weight of a mattress. One more note, since people ask about smart features and app support in reviews. This bed does not have an app, and it does not have anything electronic to configure. Honestly, that is part of why I am comfortable with it. The day-to-day experience is mechanical and straightforward. If something ever feels off, like the lift motion changes, the first thing I would do is check bolts and hinges. That is what fixed my one small noise issue. After 6 months of normal use, I am still happy with it. The fabric still looks neat. The headboard stitching still looks crisp. The lift mechanism still opens smoothly, and the storage has actually changed how I use my space. My room looks less cluttered because the bulky items are not sitting in corners anymore. I can grab winter layers or spare bedding in seconds, then close it and everything looks tidy. If you are comfortable doing an afternoon of assembly, and you want a clean upholstered look with a lot of hidden storage, it has been a practical solution for me. If you want something you can easily move around, or you hate building furniture, that is where it can test your patience. If this video was helpful, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with any questions you have. Thank you for watching.